this is Liz Hitchens with Triathlete.com, and I'm here with senior editor Janae Shaw. We just got done watching a really excited women's race here at the Ironman World Championship 70.3. They kicked off the action this morning at Lake Las Vegas. Jody Swallow had a pretty big lead coming out of the swim. She was followed by Kelly Williamson, Meredith Kessler, and Leanda Cave. Not a big surprise that those four were out front.
No, they're usually the leaders out of the swim. I think the only, somewhat of a surprise there was Meredith Kessler, only given the fact that she broke part of her back 6 weeks ago and was a little unsure of how her swim form would be, but she was right up there where she should have been. And another surprise was Heather Jackson was right in the chase pack. Swimming's not exactly her strongest suit. She doesn't love it all that much, but she put herself in a really good place.
So coming out of T1, Jody Swallow had a pretty good lead, but behind her was Leanda Cave, and Leanda Cave caught her pretty quickly.
Yeah, Leanda stayed right up there. I think given the fact that she raced high B last week and wasn't feeling so great, took a big chunk of rest and wasn't really expecting to be in the front and really hold that lead for that long.
So while Leanda was hammering out front, we had a few casualties in the back. Tell us about some of the pre-race favorites that we lost out there.
Yeah, so Rinny was a huge one, and I think she's trying a bit of a new nutrition plan this time, and it didn't go so well for her stomach, so she said about 28K in she started throwing up and just decided to call it a day and support her fiancé Tim. And Lindsay Corbin also got a flat. She said it's her first flat since 2007, and she actually wasn't carrying a kit with her, so she ended up having to drop out. And I'm not sure what happened with Angela Nath, but she had a lot of what looked like fresh road rash on her, so we're guessing that there might have been a crash in there, but it was brutal out there.
So coming into T2, we had Leanda Cave with a pretty good lead. Behind her was Heather Jackson, and then last year's winner, Melissa Hochschild. You were standing just outside of T2. How did they look to you?
It was definitely hot, so they looked like that was about to take a toll, but Leanda looked really good out there, really smooth, and saw her coach, Sarah Lindley, on the sidelines and said, "This is your race, Bird." So she looked good, and Heather's been working on a run a lot this year and looked really solid.
So Leanda stayed out front the whole race, but behind her there was a lot of mixing up going on. Who had the most impressive run performance to you today?
I think definitely Kelly Williamson. She has been known for her fast half marathon splits. She ran a 1:16 in Panama and I think a 1:23 here, which was the fastest run split of the day by quite a bit. So she had the fastest run split at high B last week as well against Olympians and really fast short course athletes. So definitely goes to Kelly Williamson.
So the heat definitely took its toll on athletes today. Did you see that out there?
Definitely. There's a lot of misters and sponges and all that, but there's not a lot of shade from what I can see on this course, and so I can imagine that it's a little bit rough. But someone like Kelly Williamson who trains in Austin, she says she was barely fazed by it.
So again, Leanda Cave takes the win. Behind her we had Kelly Williamson. In third was Heather Jackson, and fourth place went to last year's winner, Melissa Hochschild. Then in fifth we had New Zealand's Jo Lan. What stands out to you in that top five?
I think Leanda Cave. She started with the inaugural event of this race in 2006 and hasn't won this title yet. So it's just another great title to add to her resume and looks great going into Kona.
That's all for us from Vegas. Thank you so much for watching our coverage over the weekend. We'll see you next in Kona.